Chapter 17. Trouble Ahead. Tax Tangles. Another letter that he had to go to the post office and sign for. Jamal knew it was not good news. This time, he was being contacted by the Internal Revenue Service, the IRS. Something about not filing a tax return. Well, damn, Jamal thought. I only filed one tax return before, and then I was locked up in prison and wasn't earning any money, and how was I supposed to file a tax return anyhow? Damn. Jamal sat in a cheap plastic chair in the front part of Max Tax Back Inc., the new occupant of a previously vacant storefront on High Street. Many happy returns. That's what one sign on the window said. Jamal didn't know Max Boykins, the guy who ran the place, but a bunch of people from the packing house had gone there and said he was real smart and got the money back. Boykins was some kind of entrepreneur. First of the year, he'd start up his tax business. Seemed to have a different name every year, but in the same neighborhood. Then he'd shift over to insurance and personal financial stuff. Toward the end of the year, he was advertising immigration services. He had a lot of irons in the fire. It was convenient, Jamal thought. Might as well start here. And don't sign anything, he reminded himself. There were 5 desks in the back of the place. People were waiting, getting returns done. Jamal recognized one of the customers, a guy who worked at the plant. A really old lady with her daughter or guardian was just getting up to leave. Jamal was next. "Hey there," the middle-aged black man said, sticking out his hand. He wore a suit made from some kind of shiny gray fabric, and his hair was slicked back with pomade. "Max Boykins, expert authority in all matters related to the IRS at your service. You filled out our information sheet, I see," he said, taking the clipboard with a form on it from Jamal. "Jamal," he said. "Jamal Thomas, Maple Avenue area." "Ah, I know it well," the man said. "Come on back here, Jamal," he said, ushering him back to the furthest and biggest desk. "Let's see how we can help you out." Jamal showed him his notice and described his situation. Boykins made a copy of the letter from the IRS and took notes. He listened intently and furrowed his brow. When Jamal finished explaining about how he'd only filed one tax return, Boykins sat, deep in thought, for maybe a minute. Then he made some notes. "Jamal," he said finally, "I think we are going to be able to help you out. Now I'm going to need you to gather up some additional documentation. I will need your social security number and your daughter's. That child support business will come into play. If you have her mother's social, that will help. Now I know you haven't filed for this year, as this letter shows, but you are in the system. If you have a copy of your old tax return, that will tell us a lot. And even if you can't find the return, having those social security numbers will be very helpful. I'll put together a file for you here. When you come back with the rest of your documentation, one of my agents will go through everything with you. We're going to look into several possibilities here, and I believe we are going to be able to take care of any worries you have with the IRS. And here's some excellent news. We're going to get you a tax refund. Can't say it will be thousands," Boykins continued. He was smooth. "But hundreds, likely several $100s. Now let's get you signed up with our client form. Gives us permission to represent you in these matters." He pushed a blank form and pen over to Jamal. "Just sign at the bottom there," Boykins said. "We'll fill in the rest of the information and date it." Don't sign anything. That's what Jamal had been thinking when he walked in the door. But here was a real opportunity. Jamal had walked in with a big problem, letter from the IRS, hadn't filed a return. Now he was hearing that he could get several $100s back from the government? If it sounds too good to be true, that was the next thing that went through Jamal's mind. If it sounds too good to be true, it usually is. "This meeting has been very helpful, Mr. Boykins." Jamal picked up the pen, put it down in the middle of the form, and pushed it away a few inches. "I had to think about this for a while." Boykins was surprised, but recovered quickly. "Now, Jamal, we are heading right into our busy season," he said. "We can fit you in now, get all this resolved for you, get it off your mind." "Yes, sir, I appreciate that," Jamal said. He thanked Boykins again and stood up and headed for the door. If it sounds too good to be true, the bookmaker's words echoed in Jamal's mind. Definitely too good to be true, he said to himself.